We're still working on bits and bobs of plants that we've got growing, potting them on as much as possible, so that by spring we'll not only have plenty of vegetables on go, we'll also have a few flowers. We've sown some in these little trays. They didn't do amazing, to be honest. These came out brilliant, lots and lots of them, and they're called a blue bedder. Quite small germination on pansies. We got a few marigolds come up as well, and then some dahlias. But out of all of them, that's the only one that seemed to do alright. But they're starting to get a bit leggy now. So it's time that we moved them on. And because they've got quite tall, I think the best way to do these will be to put a couple together when we repot them. Because just one of these stems, as it grows, splits off into multiple stems, and then it's covered in blue flowers. So if we put a couple together, we should end up with a nice bunch. I'll just show you this again while I'm here. That's that Chinese cabbage, the one we harvested, and we said if we harvested it, it'd try and grow back. You can see now, that's where we chopped it off at the stem, and all this is all brand new growth. So we've got more leaves to harvest, so that was worth doing. Those container onions we did are well on the way now, looking really good. And also these container cabbages, nice and healthy. Still got to keep an eye out for those aphids though. And I think this one is asking to be moved on now. It's got to a really good size, but it is in quite a small container. So we're going to have to get this moved on, I think, just to give it a better chance of growing. That's my Savoy cabbage. As always, a cold morning. Very foggy this morning as well. But it doesn't stop us coming into the greenhouse and just moving on a couple of bits and bobs. And I'll just move them into one of these 12 cell packs, because they're not a bad size, so they'll stay in there for quite a while till we get a bit more growth on them, and also it gets a bit warmer outside. And I'm packing this one a little bit looser than I normally do, because them plants have got a bit leggy. We need to bury them deeper, like we do most other plants. Otherwise you're going to end up with spindly, horrible looking plants. We don't want that. And we'll just give it a bit of water as well. As I've always said in past, it seems much easier to get your seedlings in once you've wet that compost. I've got some of these 10-litre pots as well. So while I'm just waiting for this water to settle, I might as well move that Savoy cabbage down. So, bit of fresh compost in this container. We can take it out and have a quick look at roots. Hopefully it'll come out easy enough. So it came out quite easily, and you can see it's got quite a bit of root system going on. It's not root bound by any stretch, but we can pop it in this bigger container and they've got a good few inches more growth downwards as well. And that height that I've just filled that container up to looks about right to me. So all we need to do is pop that in nice and central like that. Take away these bottom leaves as well. You probably wouldn't have noticed when I brought it close to the camera, but the bottom ones are just starting to yellow a little bit, which means they're on the way out. So while we're doing this, we might as well take them off. And that's less of an attraction to slugs. And then we'll just backfill it. And I'll make sure I don't fill it too much as well. We need a little bit of a recess for when we're watering. We don't want it just running off. And I think that is not bad at that. If you've got any of these plants that you're growing at home and you're repotting them on, but they seem a bit long, a bit stretched, just bury them a little bit deeper. And that'll sort it out for you. So that's in. It's been nicely firmed down. Only took a couple of minutes. And we'll pop in a little bit of slow release fertiliser as well. Give it a bit of fresh feed. You can get these from Poundland and you get 340 grams of these little pellets, and it's all purpose plant food. So for £1 it's worth grabbing one. And then I'm going to give it a quick water, get it settled into its new container, and that quick it's done. So another one to his larger container collection. Better put label back in as well, because cabbages and cauliflowers do look quite similar. So now we can move back on to this. That compost has settled down nicely now. Before I move on, I'm just going to make the holes in advance. So we want to make them basically to the bottom of this container, and a little bit wider than normal as well. So we've made all those holes, so we're pretty much set up. And I think the best thing we could do with that is basically empty everything out and then try and separate them best we can. So I think we'll just take it out like that to start with. We can see got a nice little root system going on there. And then, as I thought it would, it's going to break apart into chunks, but that's perfect for what we want anyway. So if we pop those to one side, then what we can do is just get as many as we want together, and we'll shake a bit of compost off, because that's going to make it easier. And then, like I've done before multi-sowing any plant, we'll just bunch them all up, try and keep them all at the same height as well. And then we'll try and get all lot into these holes. And same as we always do, we always push them as deep as we can. Get rid of that stretched plant and get one that looks that little bit healthier. So something like that will do. And we've got a cluster of 4 plants in one cell. So this is going to become a really nice bunch of flowers. So let's get some more and do the same thing again. 3 or 4 together. Keeping them at the same height. Then we'll shake that compost off. And get rid of these leggy stems. Right down like that. It's that easy. And again, a nice little bunch of flowers. So we can basically just carry on until we've filled all these cells. Any really short, weak ones we'll get rid of. We can take as pick of the best of these plants and get all those roots fed right into the bottom of this container. And then we'll just pinch it all together. Simple, quick and easy. And we had to do this now because you could see we've got quite a few roots going on in the bottom of this container, but also quite a lot of plants trying to grow together. So although they're coming out quite easily, it wouldn't have been too long before they started to get too tangled, and then we're just going to damage them when we take them out. So there we go. That's all we're doing. You can see these plants are getting the true leaves as well. That's that little one just there. So we're moving them at the right time. If you've never grown any of these before, you might want to give them a try. They're an attractive plant. They're easy to germinate and very easy to grow. You can see how easily it is to separate these plants. So you can pick out the stronger looking ones if you like, and just make your own little bunch up. Then get them in. So once again, an easy, quick job done this morning. So we've got 12 bunches of those flowers at the moment, and we know that each single stem splits off into multiple stems, producing lots of flowers. So because we've put quite a few together in just one cell, we're going to get loads and loads of stems. And I've seen these plants grow to this size, so that's going to be a very welcome display of flowers come late spring. So if you want to see what else we do over the next few weeks, please hit that subscribe button and press that notifications bell. We look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you.